Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? Well, here it is, the much requested jerkbait video, my Bass Fishing 101 video on jerkbaits. And this video could be a half hour long, or it could be 2 hours long, really, if you really dive deep into jerkbaits, because it's a technique that I love to do. As you guys have seen from some of my shorts, if you see them, I have a ton of jerkbaits. This is, 35 whatever plus years of fishing, and I've accumulated a lot of jerkbaits, and I love jerkbait fishing. When I see a new one that comes out, I always love to try them out, see how I like them, and there's a lot of great options out there. Um, if you guys saw my other video the other day, I did a short video. Someone had asked me about my jerkbait setups. And I'll just go over that again quick before I start kind of diving deep into the different bait selections. I like to throw my jerkbait on a spinning setup. I think I'm more efficient with it. It's less wear and tear on my elbows and my elbow and my shoulder. I think I get longer casts. I've thrown it on a bait caster. It's fine. I just like the spinning setup better. And most of the time, I'm throwing 8-pound fluoro. This is one of my FX Extreme rods. I did buy this at the outdoor show a few years ago down in Milford for jerkbait fishing. I asked them about a good spinning jerkbait setup, and this is the one they recommended, and I like it a lot. I'm looking for at least a 7-foot rod, medium action spinning. This just happens to be a 3000. I like a 3000 series rod. This is one of the Enigma Valkyries. They had them on sale last summer on their website, so I grabbed a few, and it's been a good jerkbait rod. These lure wraps are always good to have. This is a Bass Pro one, whatever one you guys like to use. These are always good to have, some kind of a lure wrap, because your jerkbaits will get stuck on every single thing when you lay them down, either in your boat or if you're fishing from the shoreline. And I just happen to have a perch, one of the perch. This is the gill or perch. This is a Mega Bass Vision 110. I was actually out fishing today. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. And they did not want a jerkbait at all. They were totally ignoring a jerkbait. It was actually a pretty tough day. I went out for about 5 or 6 hours and caught 4 bass, and they were all in one small area where they were actually active. The rest of the lake was pretty much dead, other than some peckerel. Fall fishing is always kind of iffy. Sometimes you'll run into them, sometimes you won't. But they were not interested in jerkbait today. But this is usually my go-to setup right here. This is the first jerkbait rod I'll pick up. As I said, 8-pound line, medium rod. I do like the Mega Bass Vision 110. I don't start usually with a +1 or a +2 or one of the junior sizes. I'll start with a regular and see how they're eating it. Regular Vision 110 plus or regular Mega Bass Vision 110, just to see how they're reacting to it. If I can't get a bite on that, I may go for some of the deeper divers, but we'll get into that as we go along. But this just happens to be the one I had on today, because the lake I was fishing, they do seem to like perch jerkbaits, but today they didn't like any jerkbaits. Some of my other jerkbait setups that I spoke about the other day, I don't have these rigged up right now, but this is an Abu Garcia Veritas 7-foot medium, and this is the one that I have 10-pound fluoro on. This is for like my +2s. If I'm going to throw some of those Smithwick Perfect 10s, maybe the Canada from Mega Bass, one of those big jerkbaits. Even the Canada, I might even go to a bait caster with that one, only because it's such a big bait. But for my bigger ones, I'll go with 10-pound fluoro. And I'll also have a finesse setup. This is only 6-pound. 6-pound fluoro. Same setup, Abu Garcia, with one of those Enigma Valkyrie 3000 series. That other one I didn't mention. That's an Ardent 3000 series spinning reel with the 10-pound line on. This one has 6. So this is for, like, if I'm going to throw like a Mega Bass, the junior sizes, if I'm going to throw some of the finesse jerkbaits I'm going to talk about here in this video, those smaller jerkbaits that I'm talking about. Now, that's my setups. If you guys like to throw it on a bait caster, that's totally cool. If you're comfortable with that, I have done it on both. I just prefer spinning. I just think I'm more efficient with it. And I do have water here, because if I talk a lot, my throat's going to get dry. So, as far as jerkbaits go, we could sit here for hours and talk about jerkbaits. As I go through this video, if I talk about a certain style or brand, and I go through it too quick, or you want to hear more about it, just let me know. I could do a video just on, I could do a video just on Megabass, which is the most popular. I could do a video just on the Berkeley Stunner, or, you know, the Spro Mixed Stick. All these jerkbaits will catch fish. I've caught fish on all of them. I tend to throw the Megabass more in recent years, just because I do. Now, I'm taking this video from the standpoint of someone who's new to jerkbait fishing. For you veterans out there who have done it a lot, some of this might be old hat to you. For you guys who have never thrown a jerkbait before or just getting into it, this will be perfect for you. So I'm going to break it down as, you know, simply as I can, and it's really not a difficult technique. It all just depends on, you know, where you're fishing, the body of water you're fishing. Are you fishing from a boat? Are you fishing from the shoreline? Things like that. But when I'm throwing the jerkbait, now, as I smash my other rods, I'm fishing from a boat, so I'm usually fishing towards the shoreline and straight in front of the boat. I'm not really necessarily aiming for the bank, you know, like right to where the water line starts. I know that this bait is going to suspend down into the water a certain distance, this 110, and these are kind of a slow floater. They'll kind of slowly float up. There are other jerkbaits that will suspend better than others. And there's times when you might want to get down deep. You might want to get down to 8, 7, 8, 10 feet, maybe 12, if you can. I mean, some of these jerkbaits will dive pretty deep. But when I'm throwing a jerkbait, I'm just kind of working down the shoreline. Maybe if I know it's a rocky area, depends on how well you know your lake too. You know, most of the lakes I'm fishing around, I'm fishing around by me now. I know fairly well. Even though every now and then, today I was going across the lake and I found a rock and a hump that I never even knew was there. And all of a sudden, it's 20 feet and I'm going across just to go to the other shoreline to head back to the ramp. And all of a sudden, I see my depth finder go up to 9 feet, and I see some fish on the graph. I said, well, let me fish that. Of course, I fished it for 20 minutes, and the fish were not interested. They were very, very picky today, very picky today. But what you do when you're throwing that jerkbait out there, you're just throwing it out. Give it a couple snaps, get it down to the depth you want it, and I just let it sit. I usually will let it, especially in the springtime. To me, the jerkbait is the best, especially now. I'm talking from a northeast point of view here. It's the best in the springtime. I don't do as well with it in the summer. I don't really throw it in the summer a lot. In the fall, I throw it occasionally with occasional results. To me, it's not always the best option. I think there's other baits that are better in the fall, but I do have it tied on. Because you always think, well, in the spring when the water gets into those mid 40s and hitting 50, that they're just killing the jerkbait. Why aren't they doing that in the fall when the water is going from the 60s into those 50s and 40s? It's just it's different when the fish are coming from deep to shallow as opposed to going from the shallow back into the depths as the water gets colder. So I don't tend to do as well in the fall. That doesn't mean I won't throw it. It doesn't mean I don't have occasional success with it. I will usually have one tied on and give it a try in the fall. To me, this bait really shines in the springtime. I can't think of a better bait when that water is first warming up, the fish are first starting to move up and looking to feed in the springtime right before the spawn. I can't think of a better technique than the jerkbait. And if you're fishing from a boat, I'm focusing on points. I'm focusing on rock. Rocky points are great. Places on lakes where you have that pea gravel are good. If you know your body of water, you'll probably know in your head where the best places are to throw a jerkbait. But really, you could go to a lake, launch your boat, and just follow the shoreline around throwing your jerkbait in the springtime. You'd probably do pretty well. And you'll find as you learn your lakes better, different areas where the jerkbait shines more and what colors shine more. I have lakes around here by me that I know they love a perch pattern. I know other places where that Pro Blue works great. Some places it doesn't seem like. We go to Lake Champlain in the spring and it doesn't seem to matter what color jerkbait you throw. They just crush all of them. So it all depends on the body of water. I have my favorites, and let me show you some baits because I got a lot. Probably the most important, or not most important, I guess you could say the most important. A lot of it all depends on how much you want to spend on a bait. A Megabass Vision 110 And these Plano boxes are great for your jerkbaits. It's not a cheap bait. And with us here in the Northeast and other places, there's a lot of fish with teeth that love jerkbaits too. I mentioned our May, my buddies and I go on a May Lake Champlain trip. I've done now since I've been retired. I've been able to go, and it's a lot of jerkbait fishing, and usually we, have a count on how many megabass baits or jerkbaits in general that we lost to northern pike for the week, because northern pike love them, or pickerel or whatever, any toothy critter, even walleye, love them just as much as bass. So if you're fishing in waters that have toothy critters, there is that chance that you may lose, especially if they're throwing an 8-pound line. You're not throwing a big line. If they get it right, a lot of times it could be gone. One year when we went up, I spent the night before getting all my jerkbaits, because if you have a good jerkbait day up there, the northern pike, even the bass, they destroy the hooks. The hooks get all bent out, especially the megabass hooks. If I have any complaint, their hooks are very tacky, but they flex. They're not, some of these I've changed out, but most of them I haven't, because I don't want to mess up the balance of the bait. But these hooks that are on the megabass, if I have any complaint, they flex a little too much for my liking, but these hooks will get destroyed. If you're on a good jerkbait bite, they will get destroyed by the bass and by the pike. And I spent the night before getting all my jerkbaits all cleaned up, and new O-rings and new jerkbaits, and I think it was one of my 6 cents perch colored jerkbaits, and I went out the next morning all ready to throw it with its new hooks and new O-rings and all ready to go, and I made two casts and 2 hits with a rod, and a big northern came up and ripped it right off, and it was gone. That was it. I spent all that money. All those hooks are gone. All those new hooks were gone. That bait was gone in 2 seconds. So it can happen. So it's a $25 bait. If you were going to tell me when I was a 20-some-year-old angler that I'd be buying $25 jerkbaits, I would have said you're crazy. But here we are in 2024, and I buy $25 jerkbaits. If you really follow the different bait online companies, every now and then, it's very rare that there's sales on megabass. When they do happen, I take advantage of them because they are rare. So you really take advantage of them. The megabass jerkbait is this is the Cadillac of jerkbaits as far as I'm concerned, and for most people. The paint jobs are magnificent. Just the way the bait is constructed, the way it is in the water, the way it suspends down, but then it'll have that little bit of a slow float. The weight system on there allows you to throw it a mile. I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that whole weight system of the way that bait can really fly through the air. You can chuck it a mile, cover a lot of water, and it just gets bit. It's a great jerkbait. It's the best jerkbait out there. As far as quality goes. It is not the only jerkbait, though, as we'll talk about. But this all depends on how much you want to spend on a jerkbait. How much are you willing to spend on a bait that a northern pike or some other toothy critter could come up and, you're all excited. You get it in the mail, or you buy it at the store, and you go out to throw it, and you make 3 casts, and a northern pike steals it, and then there's your $25 gone in 2 seconds. It can happen. Now, as far as the Megabass Vision 110 goes, this is the Vision 110. That's like the standard right there. That's the bill size. It's not going to go super deep, 5 or 6 feet, I think these go, where they'll kind of suspend for a little bit, and then they do that little bit of slow float. I have noticed on some of them seem to suspend more than others. That could have been maybe I just change a hook, and maybe it keeps it down there a little better, because I have changed the hooks on some of these. If these hooks get destroyed, I don't put the same kind of hook back on. I'll put like a Gamakatsu on, or some of those other ones I got. But this is the high standard for a jerkbait. It's also the most pricey. I like the perch patterns a lot. I throw them very often. That's usually what I'll start with. I think these two are the same. They have a few different perch colors. This one here is more of a matte type finish. But as you can see, the craftsmanship is beautiful. They have a lot of different colors. I am a big fan, if I can get this one out, because these hooks are stuff, of the Pro Blue. I think that's a great color. That's the regular Pro Blue. There's a Pro Blue 2, which I really like. It's got a little chartreuse on the belly, if I can find that one. I I think that's, yeah, it's a Pro Blue 2. It's got that little bit of chartreuse. Great color. They have all these different, you know, colors that come out. I don't remember some of these names. I think this is that shrimp color. I did great on this last spring when it came out. Excellent color. I think I lost it at Champlain. I had to buy another one. This Northern Secret color has been really good. It's another, you know, with that purple and that chartreuse on there. There's not a bad color in the line. If you have one that you like and you catch fish on it, go with it. I just kind of start with those perch colors. I mean, these, ooh, if I can get that out of there, I'll show you this clown one. You know what? I'm going to just do it this way. Here's the Vision one. And these, like I said, these Plano box are great. They don't come falling out. They don't get, the hooks don't get stuck together. These are just my 110s right here. These are just the regular junior size ones. I shouldn't say regular, but they have a junior size. If I can get one out, I'll show it to you. This is that Vision 110 Junior, and that's the junior size. So if you have, like, if I can get that, there's that clown color, and this is, I forget, this is that something like that, I forget. I'm not going to remember all these Megabass colors in a million years. That's your Vision 110. This is the Junior. If you can see them kind of next to each other. A little bigger. So if you're looking for a smaller bait, the junior size is a good way to go. I like the Junior +1, but the regular junior size is good too. Every now and then I'll throw these on. I tend to stick with the 110. That tends to be my go-to. But that's just my one box of Megabass baits. And the junior sizes are a little cheaper. It's going to save you a little money. Let's see. In here is my Megabass Vision 110 +1s and my 110 +2s. +2s will go deep, 10 foot deep. I don't throw the +2, probably to my detriment. Here's like the Pro Blue +2, or no, it's +1. Sorry, I always got to check the top. At least they put it on there so you don't forget. That's the Pro Blue 2 in with the +1. See that bigger bill? So that'll get deeper. If you see a bait with a bigger bill, it'll go deeper. These are excellent. The +1 is a great bait. It's almost beginning. And here's that Northern Secret in the +1. It'll say it right on the top if you ever forget. I wish they had the colors on here. Some of them I can never remember. Here's one of those perch colors. Oops. These hooks are so tacky. There's that perch color there with that +1. The +1, for a while there, may have been my favorite go-to Megabass. A lot of times I'll put that one on first. It just, sometimes, especially in the spring when those fish are still a little deeper, that +1 might be the way to go. As I said, I usually start with just the regular 110, see how they're reacting. If I'm not getting any bites, I'm like, let's go with the +1. Let's get down there a little deeper and see if that's what's going on. The +1 is a great option. It's a great option. Now, they also have, let's see here, if I get take the perch one out. Here's that perch in the +2. So you can see that bill is big. Now, when these first came out, I got some and I caught some fish on them. I just haven't thrown them much. You can see that has a different hook on it. That has a different hook on the front. So that front hook must have got destroyed. Actually, I think all these hooks are different. Yeah, these are definitely different hooks. So these hooks must have got, yeah, there's a lot of bite marks on there. This one the hooks probably got destroyed, so I replaced them. I don't throw the +2 as much, but it does have its time and place. I don't think it's a bad idea to have a couple in your box, just in case those fish are really deep. But that's kind of like my +2 and +1. I don't know how well you guys can see that. As I said, we could talk about just Megabass all day. I could try and figure out what some of these colors are, because I'm definitely going to forget all of them. And there's also, oh, here is the, of course, the hooks have to get stuck on each other. Here's that clown color. Now, this is the the Vision 110 Junior. I can't even see that. Oh man, this is the 110 plus 1 Junior. I couldn't remember the name. So here's that smaller size, but with the plus 1. I like this better than the regular junior size. Not that the other junior size isn't bad, but there's that white one. There's that clown color. Lots of different colors. I got some of the Perch, the Pro Blue. Really, if you want to talk about colors, now obviously if you guys look at the Megabass page or whatever, whoever you're buying them from, you'll see a ton of colors. In my opinion, now people may have their certain one color here. I know a lot of people that love that clown color. I think if you have that clown color, some Perch patterns, and the Pro Blue, you don't really need anything else. Now I do like that Northern Secret. I think, I'm not sure what that is. Oops, I'll try to get that out of there for you. Of course, I'm not gonna bother. The Northern Secret color is nice. Really, if you have 4 or 5 different colors, you're probably good to go. But you'll, as you see them, as you become more acquainted with the Megabass line, you'll see a color maybe on a website or in the store and go, I want to try that one, because that's how I've got this many of them. I'm like, well, let me try that color. Or they come out with a new line. They have those Respect series that come out of colors that they just kind of release them for a while, and some of them are really cool, and some of them are like, okay. But if you have the Pro Blue, if you have a Perch, a Clown, that Northern Secret color I kind of like, that's one I'm starting to like a lot. If you have those 3 or 4 colors, you're really good to go. You're really good to go. Unless you want, if you fish water that's real dirty and you want something like these French pearl ones, it's not a bad idea either. But you don't have to be a nut like me and have a ton of colors. Although all of them look great, so you really can't go wrong. Now, one of the Megabass jerkbait lines is the Canada. I haven't even really thrown this yet. This is a huge, huge jerkbait. A huge jerkbait. I love that color, that Perch color. This is going on 10. I might even throw this on 12. I might throw this on a bait caster. This is a big jerkbait. This is a big jerkbait. It's got big hooks on it. Doesn't have those wimpy little other hooks. This is a big jerkbait. If you want to show the fish something different, the Canada is pretty cool. I haven't got it into my arsenal that much yet. I want to throw it around this fall. I just haven't done it yet. But it's pretty cool looking. So if you're looking to try a really huge jerkbait, the Canada from Megabass is pretty neat. And it's heavy, so you're probably chucking a mile. I'll keep you guys posted on how I do with it this fall, if I really get it into the arsenal there. But that, guys, that's Megabass. And we probably talked about Megabass for 23 minutes. So this video could be 2 hours long. You guys will be half asleep. As I said, if you want to, I'm going to talk about some of these other ones. If you want to do a deep dive into a certain brand, let me know, and we'll do it. Another jerkbait that I really like a lot, that I've thrown a lot the last few years, is the Berkeley Stunner. And I love this Berkeley Stunner in that Perch pattern. It's a great color. I catch a lot of fish on this. It's a great jerkbait. It's a great jerkbait. Now, Megabass is going to cost you 25 bucks. I think these are $12.99, something like that. Half the price. It's a quality jerkbait, but it's not as expensive as a Megabass. But these are very good. It's a high quality jerkbait. If you just throw the Stunner, you will catch fish. You're going to catch fish on any of these jerkbaits, but the Stunner is a nice jerkbait. And look, they have like their version of that. A lot of the colors you'll see are very similar to Megabass colors. Like that kind of looks like their Northern Secret. That kind of looks like their LG Bone. I forget what they're called in the Berkeley brand, Berkeley line. They got all the great colors. They got the golds. They got the matte colors. It's a great jerkbait. I highly recommend the Berkeley Stunner. And that comes in the regular Berkeley Stunner 112. You can see that, and I'm putting that. I hope that isn't too much of a glare on there. Putting that covering that lid up so it doesn't spill out all over the place. And they also have the +1, which is really... So if you want to try some Berkeley Stunnas, get yourself that. Their perch pattern is great. Get their perch pattern. You could get that. I'm not sure what they call this, the color in their version. It's like the LG Bone color in the Megabass. It might be, I don't know what it's called, but it's got that blue with that chartreuse belly. I like chartreuse on the belly of a jerkbait. It seems to get bit. Let me see. Any other ones that I really like? There's like that purple, that Northern Secret type color. It's an excellent jerkbait. The Berkeley Stunna and the regular and the 112 will not cost you an arm and a leg. And those, occasionally, when there's sales, those will be on sale. It's not like Megabass, it never goes on sale, really. That's a good one. Another quality jerkbait that I like. Not overly expensive. You can get them on sale. And that is the 6 Sense Provoke. These first came out, caught a ton of fish on them. And as you'll see as we go through this, a lot of the companies, they all have the same colors. Everybody knows the colors that work. Now, there's colors that they come out with just for people like me, who's a nut who gets a ton of jerkbaits and says, oh, I'm going to try that color. I'm going to try that color. As I said, you don't need every color on their list like me. I know, but I have a problem. I love fishing tackle, and I've got to get every color I can get. And I always like to try to catch fish on a different color bait, just to see, because sometimes you can maybe unlock something on a lake that no one else has tried. Everybody's, if I can get these, I mean, there's the Provoke with 2 other baits hanging from it. I'm going to try to get these apart here. Oh, I did. Oh, almost. Got to get some more of those Plano boxes. Here's their perch pattern. Very good. Catch a lot of fish on it. I'm not going to remember all the names, but as you can see, great paint jobs on the Provoke. There's nothing wrong with the Provoke as far as quality goes. I think they're $13.99, something like that, $14. There's always sales for 6 cents, and when they're sale, that Jaint Juice color is excellent. That's a good one right there. Some of these other like gill colors. It's a good jerkbait. There's nothing wrong throwing the 6 Sense Provoke. Now I think somewhere here it is. They also have their deeper diver bait. There's that Jaint Juice with that bigger bill. That'll get you down those deeper 7, 8, maybe 10 range if you go light enough line. It's a good jerkbait. There's that. You got dirty water. You like that like French pearl type color, that pearl type color. Excellent. Good hooks. I have always loved one thing about, this one's got some serious hook rash on them. I've always loved about 6 Sense baits is their hooks. Excellent hooks. Excellent hooks. That's a fish catcher right there. The 106. I don't remember if they call this a +1 or just a DD, but their Provoke, their deep diver, excellent, excellent, excellent bait. Another great option. You got your Megabass. This is going to be your most expensive. And then you've got 2 more reasonable that are like usually half the price, give or take. The Berkeley Stunna and the Provoke 106. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, you know what? Let me just... I'll save that for the end. Now, if you want to get back into the higher-end jerkbaits, not as much as a Megabass, but a very popular brand, and that is Lucky Craft. And the Lucky Craft Pointer, a very popular, famous jerkbait. I have not thrown, and you notice these are a 2-hook bait instead of a 3. This is the Pointer SP suspending. That's one of their, they have some different body shapes. I'll show you a few. Here's the bigger size. That's the bigger size of that Pointer. I remember back in the day when this was the jerkbait. This is what everybody was throwing. This is another, I don't remember what they call these, but this is one of their versions of their jerkbaits that is only like 10 bucks. This is a cheap version, but it's not a cheap bait. I had one of these in a perch pattern last May. Went up to Champlain. They're killing perch baits. I said, you know what, let me try that Lucky Craft that I got at Bass Pro that I think was like $9.99. 2 casts, catch a 4-pound smallie. Awesome. Next cast, gone from a pike. Gone. Never to be seen again. And the color that I like, that perch color of this bait from Lucky Craft, I have it's been sold out on every site I've looked on, so maybe I'll get another one someday. But the pointer, they've got great colors. Those trout colors are great. Those matte colors are great. The pointer is an awesome, awesome option. Maybe even more than the pointer, I do like their smaller jerkbaits. I'm going to try to get some of these out for you. This is, I believe, what they call it. This is the bevy shad, yeah. If you're looking for a more finessey jerkbait, throw in that 6-pound line, the bevy shad from Lucky Craft is excellent. This is a great jerkbait. I wish I threw this more. I've kind of gotten away from it because I've thrown Megabass stuff so much. But this is an excellent jerkbait option. If you've got smaller bait, the bevy shad is great. The bevy shad from Lucky Craft. Another good that back in the day I threw a lot, and that is the Stacey from Lucky Craft. I don't know if there's a number on there or just this has got some serious hook rash on it. Well, actually, that's a pointer. I take that back. That's the Stacey. Have them in the same little section there. The Stacey is a thin, small jerkbait, but it has it'll get down there. I think that's just, yeah, they just put the Stacey on there. The Stacey is another good one if you're looking for a more finessey jerkbait, even though that'll dive a little deeper. I don't know if these are, yeah, these are just small pointers. That's a small pointer there. That's a small pointer there. That's a small, man, these used to get thrown a lot. There are some serious hook rash on them. I thought I had more Stacey's in here. Those are all bevy shads. I thought I had more Stacey's. Maybe I don't. Or maybe they're in another box. I don't think so. I may have lost them over the years. I just haven't replaced them. But the Stacey, those small pointers, the Lucky Craft is an excellent option. Not as much as Megabass as far as price goes. I think they're usually in that $17.99 range. I'd have to look. But Lucky Craft, you cannot go wrong. This is more of your high end with your Megabass as far as price goes. But good quality, good quality. Let's see. Another excellent option. As I said, these are all good jerkbaits. If you have one of these that's your favorites, you're doing fine. Another one I really like is the Spromic stick. When these first came out, loved them. And I still love them. I just, you know, can only throw one jerkbait at a time. As you can see, I got 1,000, so. But the Spromic stick is great. Not overly expensive. Generally half the price or so of a Megabass. And with as you can see, I've got 4 of the Blue Bandit color in here because this is an awesome jerkbait color. The Blue Bandit from the Spromic stick in the Blue Bandit color is killer. If you just try one of these, try this color. When this first came out, it didn't matter where I went, in what state, what lake, they bit this color. I don't know what it is about it. It's kind of like a sexy shad, I guess. But this Blue Bandit color, Spromic stick, is killer. This is the best color. Now, they have a lot of really cool colors. They have their version of like Pro Blue, as you can see. They got the one, I guess 2 of the same ones. They've got like perch type colors, gill type colors, which are really good. Nothing bad. Everybody has the great colors. The clown color, I think that might be 2 different types of one. It's a great bait. I even have the Blue Bandit in their deep version. I believe it's just the Mixed Stick +1, yeah. Here's the Mixed Stick, Spromic stick +1. As you can see, that big bill if you're looking to get deeper, that 9-10 feet, maybe deeper if you throw a lighter line. This Pro Mix stick's a good one. And if you just get that blue bandit color and try it, you will catch some fish. I think this color is excellent. Whenever I go in my Spro box, this is the first one I put on every time. Sometimes they may want this perchy one here, or some of these other cool colors, which I don't remember the names of. But for a gold jerkbait is never a bad option. I even have their smaller version. I believe this is the 95 or 85, sorry, the McRib 85 in the Blue Bandit. So, Spro Mix stick, a lot cheaper than a Megabass. Not a lot, but half the price. So you can get 2 for the price of 1. Excellent jerkbait. Try that Blue Bandit color. See how you do. Let me know how you make out with it. Another great option for jerkbait fishing. Let's see. Now, everything doesn't have to cost $100. When I first started tournament bass fishing in the 90s, everybody threw, so I was throwing a jerkbait, they threw, I'm going to pull out 5 of them here because they're all stuck together. They threw a Rattling Rogue. That was the #1 jerkbait back in the day. That was before Megabass. I knew what a Megabass was. And there were other, bombers and Rapalas and stuff, but the most popular in those days was a Rogue. And the Rogue is an excellent jerkbait. Now, it is not super high quality components like you're going to find in a Megabass or a Lucky Craft or a Spro or a Berkeley Stunner, because these are older baits. But they have a new version. I think they call it their FX series, if I'm remembering the name right. And I'll put links to all these in the description so you guys can check them out online. But this is their newest. They came out with like 6 new colors. And the Smithwick Suspending Rogue. This is their new colors here. And these are awesome. And they're like $7.99. So if you are on a budget, but you want to get into the jerkbait world, you don't want to spend $25 on a Megabass, which I don't blame you, check out the new, I believe it's the FX series. Ow! From Smithwick. The Smithwick Rogue Pro FX series, something like that. You know what? I'll even take a second and look it up for you guys. Just to be sure I'm not messing the name up. You guys can go right on LureNet and check them out yourself. Let's see. Smithwick. I believe it's FX series, so I just want to be sure. Yep, the Smithwick Rattling Rogue FX series, $8.99. And a lot of times you can find these on sale. But they have some colors here. They have these 6 new colors that are awesome. These 2 bad boys, this bad boy right here is great. This guy right here. I threw this in the spring when it came out. Did great on it. Took it to Champlain. First day, gone from a pike. So when I got back home, I got 2 more. And I'm drawing a blank on this color. I just got to tell you what it is. It's so good. I believe that's the... let me see. Whoops. I think that's the Northern Light color, yeah. That's kind of like what they're all calling, all the companies are calling this purple and chartreuse Northern Light. So this Northern Light color, if you're on a budget, you don't want to spend, you don't want your Tackle Warehouse order to be $200, but you want to get some jerkbaits, or if you order these from LureNet, get some of these Rogues, especially the new FX series. Now they have other colors that are great. I'm going to show you one that I think is dynamite. But if you're on a budget, but you want to throw a quality jerkbait, the Rogue is excellent. These new FX series, that Northern Light color is killer. I love it. And they have other ones here. I don't remember the names of all these colors. I could go. If you check some of my, did a video when I first got these. But these are their new colors. So it's a modernized Rogue. Better hooks than the old days. Nicer paint jobs. Nice rattles in there. Cast well. Check them out. If you're looking to save some money, but still get a quality jerkbait. That new FX Rogue. Excellent. Oops, here's a, oh, I forgot to show you. There's another one here. It's like a clear color, but that chartreuse is all. That chartreuse is excellent on the belly of a jerkbait. Now, there's one other color that I really love. Now, if I'm going to be able to get this out of here, it's going to be a miracle. Or at least one of them, because I have more than one. Oop. Oh, sometimes you get lucky. This purple darter color from Rogue, in the Rogue, is awesome. When this first came out, back in the day, a long time ago, and when I lived in Jersey, and we went out to the lakes and threw jerkbaits, this guy right here was killer. That purple darter, Smithwick Rogue, check it out. If you just get those new colors and you get one other color of the older colors, that purple darter is the one I recommend. They have a lot of cool colors. I'm going to close this box and show you, because if I don't, it'll spill all over the place, and then I will have a mess. They all got hooks on. Those are all Rogues. And if you get those new FX colors and that purple darter, you are good to go. And you could get all them for a fraction of what it'll cost you to get those high-end ones. So if you're on a budget, check out the Rogue from Smithwick. Now, they also have, if you're looking for a big jerkbait, their Perfect 10. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And they did just come out with a Northern Lights color in that Perfect 10. So if you're looking for, like I talked about with those big jerkbaits, like that Canada, the +2, if you're looking for a jerkbait that'll get down 10 feet plus, maybe that Smithwick Road Perfect 10 is one you might want to check out. Good price point, quality hooks, nice paint jobs, lots of cool colors. They've just brought out those new FX colors for the Perfect 10, which are really cool. I mean, if a smallie ain't gonna kill that, I don't know what he's gonna kill. So, but if you're looking for a bigger bait, give that Perfect 10 from Smithwick a look. Even got like a nice perchy looking color. So it's a cool option if you like part of those bigger jerkbaits. It's not a kind of jerkbait I throw all the time, but there are times when it can be good. Oh, let's see, what's next here? Let's see. Now some of these, I'm gonna let me stick with what I'm pretty sure is still available first, before I talk about some stuff that is either custom or may be discontinued. Strike King makes a nice jerkbait. I don't like them as much as those other ones I showed you, but there are a few in that KVD line. Some of these like bassy, perchy colors I like. In, you know, regular diver, deeper diver. The Strike King jerkbait, not overly expensive. Not a bad option. I mean, I don't have as much confidence in these as I do those other ones, but when they first came out with jerkbaits years ago, I did great on them. That Sexy Shad one and things. The newer ones, I just haven't done as well on, but I haven't thrown them as much as the other ones. So there's the Strike King. They have lots of cool jerkbaits. They're not overly expensive. Check those out if you're interested. I talked about the Berkeley Stunna. Their old jerkbait. They don't make the. This was their older version of a jerkbait, the Cutter. It was a nice jerkbait. Now, if you guys find these like maybe on eBay or something, because I'm pretty sure they don't make them anymore. The Cutter was a good jerkbait. Caught a lot of fish on these when they first came out. They got all the colors, the Pro Blues. Try to, some of these are stuck together. You can there's some cutters right there, and you can see they have they die pretty good. That's the Cutter 110. And I'd love to show you those better, but they're all stuck together. Ooh, there's their clown version. I mean, it's a nice looking nice looking jerkbait. It's a shame they don't make them anymore. It's a shame they don't make them anymore. Where's that? They had a perch one that I liked. Caught a lot on this guy right here. That's just the one. That's their 110. That perch color was good. Caught a lot on that. Good jerkbait. Don't think they make them anymore. You may find them out there. I haven't seen them lately, but I haven't been looking for them either. You guys in the know might have seen them. Now you can still get, as far as I know, like the Rapala, the shadow wraps. They're a little light for me. They don't really cast as well. They do catch fish. Like something like here's that shadow wrap. I think that's a shadow wrap 11. It's a nice jerkbait. It's fine. Not as expensive. If you're looking for something a little cheaper, you want to give it a try. You could do a lot worse than a shadow wrap. They got lots of cool colors. As I said, when these first came out, like usually when a new jerkbait comes out, I'll always try it. I never really, they came out with this ripstop one. The one that kind of like goes and then it kind of turns, almost goes and then turns like that. I didn't do that great with it as far as so I don't know, maybe it's better now, or maybe I don't even know if they still make it, to be honest with you. But, you know, they have like, let's see, what's this one? Shadow wrap deep slow rising. So, you know, that's more of a different, you know, fish type body, but you know, good paint jobs. If you're a Rapala guy, I'm sure that you like them and use them. I just don't throw them as much as I used to. I know a lot of people like those old Shimano jerkbait boxes. Oh, let's see what's in here. This is more shadow wraps. Guys, get a good look at those. Show you those fast. Like here's the shadow wrap deep 11. Nice perch color. Yeah, let's see. Kind of like a fire tiger type color. So if you guys like the old Rapalas, got plenty of those. Sometimes they're a pain to get back in these boxes. All right, I'll do that later. That's why these Shimano boxes are okay, but sometimes the hooks kind of get stuck in there. But if you guys are Rapala guys, it's not a bad option. As you can see, there's a million options here for jerkbaits. Now, some of these, I believe... Now, let me show you a couple that I really like that I know are discontinued. Live Target, in their heyday, in my opinion, had some really nice jerkbaits. These first came out, I threw them in the reservoirs by me and did great. I had like these stuck together, like these bait ball series. I know it kind of looks a little weird. These are killer. These are killer clear water jerkbaits. They suspend great, they throw great, good hooks. It's a shame they don't make them anymore. Maybe on eBay you can find them. I always love this one with a green bait fish in it. I mean, that is just a cool looking jerkbait. I really wish they made them still, because they're just cool. It's kind of a different size one. I don't know if it says it on there. I don't remember. Bait ball series. Yeah, that's the 95 in the bait ball series. And I think these were the... I'll get them to come apart. Yeah, that was the 110. This was their version of a 110. Really cool. Really cool. Lots of cool different colors. That green one was always my favorite. But, you know, I know they're all kind of stuck together there. But when these first came out and I would throw them, they're great. They were great. This other bait ball series where it was just like the two big... Close. Like here was their other version of that jerkbait. I don't know if it says on here what those were. I don't think they do, and I don't remember. But it was just like the two bait fish on there. It's a little bit bigger jerkbait. These were cool. I mean, I took them out, fished with them when I got them. Here you got just 2 hooks on this one. If you look around on eBay, maybe you'll find them, or if there's somebody got them that wants to get rid of them, they do work. They're nice jerkbaits. It's a shame they don't make them anymore. But that's the old Live Target ones. I haven't heard much from Live Target lately, so I don't know how they're doing. I know Mustad bought them. I don't know if they're making jerkbaits at all. This is the old the Rick Clunn, the STX jerkbait from Lucky Strike, which is kind of like a Mega Bass ripoff in a way, because it's pretty much the same body, not the same components. But I did like, now, as you can see, now this was a $7.99 jerkbait, and obviously the colors are not as fancy, but I caught a lot of fish on this perch one. It was hard to find, but caught a lot of fish on that perch one. I'm trying to think of some of these other ones. When some of these other ones came out, and you can see that looks a lot like a Mega Bass jerkbait. Cool colors. Spin nice. Just, it's just not as, high-end components. But it was a cool jerkbait. Definitely catches fish. No doubt about it. But I believe that's discontinued. I haven't seen them around in a long time. I know that Rick is with that, is it Headhunter Company now? So maybe, I think they have a jerkbait. I haven't tried yet, so maybe I'll give it a shot. And last but not least, because I think that's good, and then I'm going to just show you one other thing, because the video is probably already an hour, 51 minutes, so an hour, which I kind of figured. If you guys like custom baits, you guys know, and you can check some of my old videos, Stoneman and Son Lures. Pete's a great guy, lives up in Vermont. I should say over. He used to be up in Vermont when I was in Jersey. Now I'm in New Hampshire. He's over in Vermont. He's not that far away. Pete makes great custom painted jerkbaits. He gets the bodies, and he can get the 110 body. Now you're not getting a Mega Bass body, but if you want a jerkbait painted the way you want it painted, I love. Now that's his 110. I believe +1 jerkbait body in the perch color, which I've gotten a bunch from him over the years, and they're great. They're great, and it's a custom painted bait. If you have a bait fish in your lake, or something you want to copy, and you don't want to spend $25 for a custom painted bait, which is pretty darn good, check out Stoneman and Son Lures. I have so many different perch ones from Pete over the years. I think that actually those two I think are the same. Let's see what else I got here. This one's a little different. Ooh. But I mean, just great paint jobs. Caught a lot of fish on these, and you will not spend $1 million getting it. So not the fact you're getting a custom painted bait and it doesn't cost you as much as some of the other ones. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And you can get pretty much anything you want. He actually made, let me show you here. He actually found some of those bait ball type. Now it's not quite the same, but it's very similar. He got some of those bait ball bodies, similar ones, from somewhere. As you can kind of see, it's got kind of like that bait ball from that Lucky Live Target. Sorry, having a brain lock there. he got these for me and painted them up, which is it's not the same obviously, but it's pretty similar and it's pretty cool looking. It's pretty cool looking. So if you're looking for somebody that can make you some custom painted baits, I mean, that's pretty darn cool right there, guys. Check out Stoneman. Here, I asked him to do something like that Spro Mix stick, the Blue Bandit, and it's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. The guy's a great painter. Great bait painter. So check out Pete, Stoneman and Son Lures. I'll put a link. You can check out his, I don't know if he still has his website up, but you can reach out to him on Instagram. But if you're looking for custom painted baits, custom painted jerkbaits are pretty cool, especially if you have like a certain bait fish on your lake that you want to match. He can do it for you. Now I'm just going to wrap this up because I know either half of you are gone already or asleep. If you're looking for some more finessey jerkbaits, here are some. These are Mega Bass, and I hope it says it on there because I'm never going to remember what these are. That's the If you're looking for some finesse jerkbaits. Light line, 4 to 6 pound test baiting. The X80 from Mega Bass. That's one of the ones I won in that giveaway. I don't remember all the, I think this is that X Nanahan. The X Nanahan +1, that perch, finesse jerkbait. These are kind of stuck together. That's the Mega Bass X70. So these are tiny. I don't throw them a lot. This might be even more for you river guys, maybe if you're trout fishing or something. For these really small ones. But if you guys are bass fishing and you want a small finesse jerkbait, that X darter, that X80 trick darter, sorry, that's that Pro Blue too. That's pretty cool. And this is kind of, I would throw this normal, you know, bass fishing. But they're more finessey. So there are like finesse options, light line options for jerkbaits. That X80 trick darter is really a nice one. I like that a lot. I throw that every now and then. Fishing's tough. Try these smaller ones. Or another good one, which I'll wrap this up with. Actually, this is a Duo Realis jerkbait. This is a full-size one. The 120 SP. These are not bad. When these first came out, I threw them a little bit, caught some fish. They're nice. Haven't looked at them in a while. Got a couple colors back in the day. If you're looking for something different. But really what I like from them, from Duo Realis, if I can find them. This one's got some serious hook rash. But this is the Duo Realis, the Rosante 77 SP suspending. It's a really good finesse jerkbait. Late fall, early winter, water's really cold, or early spring. Maybe it's not really quite jerkbait season yet. They're not like hammering the jerkbaits. These little guys can do pretty good. To me, they're hard to find in stock. So whenever, I always look every now and then, and if I see them in stock, I'll grab one or two. Because, I mean, that Rosante, like that perch color, it's really cool. And this is obviously very, you know, light, you know, I go like 6 pound fluoro on a spinning. But sometimes that finessey jerkbait is the ticket. And I have a few of them, the 77s. I don't remember all the colors. They don't have in the Duo Realis version, I don't think there's not like 50 colors, so I just kind of like those perch ones. And I think I got, oh, what do we got here? This is a 77, yeah. Like those, like, ooh, ow, and those little hooks are sharp. Ouch. Bait falls and goes right in my finger. That white one's kind of cool too in the dirty water. But, oh. Rosante 77 is nice. I think I have their smaller one even. This is the Rosante 63. So you could, this is really finessey. I don't even know if I've thrown these yet. But, Jesus, these little hooks. Oh, murder. There's a 63. That's a tiny bait. So if you're looking for some finesse jerkbaits, they're out there. The Duo Realis Rosante 63 and 77. I like the 77. This guy was always good here. My home lake back in the day. That guy right there. As you can see, there's some serious hook rash on that. Might have to get a new version of this. I think this is their perch one. But that, my friends, is it. As I said, I talked about a lot of jerkbaits here. Your head might be spinning. If there's any particular brand there that I talked about, let me know in the comments, and I'll do a video. We could do a deep dive into that specific brand. I mean, we could talk about just Mega Bass jerkbaits forever. We could talk about Spro ones forever. Whatever. If there's something you want me to go into more detail on. Oh, I need a drink. I'm talking for an hour. Please let me know. Please let me know. I'll do my best to put all the links to these different baits if you want to check them out online. But really, guys, these are all good jerkbaits. They all work. Take them on in your favorite lake. If you're new, as I said, I'm looking at this from the point of view of someone who's new for jerkbait fishing. Take them to your favorite lake. Try them out. You don't have to just go out and buy $25 Mega Bass jerkbaits. I know they're beautiful. I know they're probably the best jerkbait going. But, you know, if you want to save some money and, you know, try some of those Smithwick Rogues, you will do fine. You will do fine. You don't have to just buy Megabass. For years and years, I resisted, you know, buying Megabass jerk. The first Megabass jerkbait I found on a lake, and the hooks were rusty, so I went home and put new hooks on it. Over the years, though, as you see, I've gotten more and more, and now, now I can afford, a more expensive jerkbait. So every now and then, I'll get a couple. But really, if you're a Megabass person, get yourself some perch, some Pro Blue, maybe the Clown. Try that Northern Secret Color. You don't need anything else. But, those Spro mixed sticks are great. Get that Blue Bandit. That's one of my favorites. The Smithwick Rogues, those new FX colors are very, very nice. And that Purple Darter is a winner. The Rapalas are all good. They're all good jerkbaits. It depends on how much you want to spend, how much you're willing to spend, because remember, toothy critters like jerkbaits too. So it can be having a great time throwing that jerkbait, and all of a sudden you do one of these and it's gone. 9 times out of 10, it's something with teeth that's decided he wants to eat it. But that's just part of it's like fishing with anything, really. There's always a chance somebody's going to steal it. But that's it, guys. So, as I said, whatever, a nice 7-foot spinning rod, 8-pound fluoro, 3000 series reel, you're good to go. Any of these jerkbaits will catch fish. If there's anything that I said, went over too fast, you guys want to hear again, like I said, any questions, please put in the comments. I love when you guys put comments on videos. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I kind of hit on everything. Any questions you might have had, I hope I kind of hit on them and covered that in this video. As I said, we can always do a part 2 if I forgot anything. That's it. So any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Please like the video. Please share it. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen, and you're new to seeing my videos, there's a ton on there back in the archives on jerkbaits and jigs and all sorts of good stuff, and unboxings of baits. Check it out. I have some playlists put together. My Bass Fishing 101 playlist, a lot of guys like, so check those out. And if you have any ideas for a Bass Fishing 101 video like to see, let me know. That's how I got the idea to do this one. All right. So I will see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.